Rotary District 7770. This is Conversations with Rotary Action People for Wednesday, May the 6th. Today's topic is all about Giving Wednesday and who gives. Our featured speaker today is the current president of the CWRAP Rotary Club in Myrtle Beach, my club. Sorry, I did not introduce myself. I'm Donald Hovis, the president-elect and Public Image Committee person for the CWRAP Rotary Club of Myrtle Beach. So joining us, our current president of CWRAP Rotary here in Myrtle Beach, Mr. Jeremy Withers. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning, Donald. Good to see you today.
Thank you for joining us. I'm excited for you to share all about Giving Wednesday here in just a few minutes. But before we kick everything off here, if you are on the Zoom call, please go to the chat box and place where you're watching us from today and your Rotary Club, please. Also, please make sure your phones are on mute. And then if you are watching us on Facebook, please add a comment in the comment field below the live stream where you're also watching us from and your Rotary Club. And throughout this presentation, if you have any questions, the chat box in the comment field, we want to see your questions so that we can get those here at the end. So Jeremy, thank you again for being with us today. First, to start off this talk, I would love for you to share your career in Rotary up till today.
Thank you, Donald. Thank you for having me. I've been in Rotary for about, I'd say, 11 to 12 years, all of the CWRAP group, and I have been on the board for membership and then also now as the president. So it's been an exciting 12 years. I've done a lot in that time.
And I do want you to know, and those of you listening, you did attend a Rotary International Convention over in Hamburg, Germany last year. So that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, so I was very blessed. It was an amazing trip. Got to learn a lot about Rotary and really see how far Rotary really reaches across the world.
Great. All right, so up next, the vision statement of Rotary. Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Introducing a few key people on the line today, for those of you watching through Zoom and on Facebook. We're pleased to be joined by past District Governor David Terrard and his wife Susan from Hilton Head Island. Good morning, David and Susan. Also, we're pleased to be joined by the District Governor-elect coming up for this next Rotary year from the Rotary Club of Myrtle Beach, Pauline Levesque. Good morning, Pauline. Thank you for being with us. Our Public Image Chair for our district, Miss Mary Gask, is on the line. Thank you, Mary. Good morning. And last but not least, we call him Technician Terry, DAC DB Wizard, Mr. Terry Moore from the Somerville Evening Rotary Club in Somerville, South Carolina. So, Jeremy, today is Wednesday, which happens to be in CWRAP Rotary, our third Giving Wednesday. Can you tell all of our viewers through Zoom and Facebook how the idea came about for Giving Wednesday?
Well, basically, our club had a few funds left over for things that we couldn't spend money on this year anyways due to the pandemic. And it was our board had decided that we should diversify the money out and start giving that in increments of $250 each week to a different organization. We wanted to make sure that we spread it out, so we voted on that for the next 8 weeks to do that, which started 3 weeks ago. And we wanted to make sure that we didn't give it all just to one club. Although we know certain clubs or certain organizations are in much need, we wanted to make sure that as time goes on, we know different organizations are going to need the money more than others. So it's sometimes when the school district's not able to give the food out to some of the children, we want to make sure that they have money and then be able to change that to other organizations throughout the other months. So as far as what we have done this month, we have voted on new directions for Street Reach, which our club is very active in. We do that quarterly where we help feed out some of the homeless at the Street Reach program. We've also voted on United Way, Waccamaw Community Foundation, and Helping Hands. But on top of that, not only is our club giving $250 to these organizations, but we're also sending out a link in our weekly giving emails asking for any member who does have the ability and the funds that they can give additional money that they are also able to. And I believe we finished up our first week and we had given $250 to the New Directions. But on top of that, we gave an additional, I want to say it was $170 on top. So our club members are equally giving back as much as some of us are too, as in our club.
Yeah, it's really good. And for those of you not from the Myrtle Beach area, that's where all of these organizations that we are helping are right here. So the money does stay local. New Directions of Horry County is they provide homeless shelters for men and women. Our club cooks in their kitchen once every quarter. The Waccamaw Community Foundation, they are a community foundation based here in Horry and Georgetown County, and they distribute funds to organizations of people in need. And I think they've given over, I believe she said $75,000 since this pandemic started back to organizations. And then the United Way of Horry County, they've been doing some food distribution events and actually have one today, this afternoon here in Myrtle Beach, where they did one a couple weeks ago. And they provided boxes of food that were all donated through cash or donation items to over 500 families. And they expect to have more than 500 families in attendance this afternoon. So, Jeremy, this effort, as you said, came from the board, but you're the current president, so you actually started the conversation. So where in your heart, I guess, did you see a need to do this during this time? You're on mute.
Oh, not sure how that happened. I went to the board and basically said that, I wanted to get ideas from them because I wanted to be able to make sure that we could give back to the community one way or another. And it was through the board that basically came as a little brainstorm. We decided on how to do that the best way. But my main concern was that everywhere around us is hurting. And as a club, that's when Rotary tends to be needed the most. So I thought it would be best for us to find a way that we could still show the local community and everyone around us and our club members that while everyone's hurting the most, our club is still able to help out and give them as much.
We always saw Kobe and said Kobe mimicked Michael's game, but now to know that Michael was actually.
Sorry about that, Jeremy.
Oh, no problem. I thought there was a question. So it was basically the only thing I really did was just come to our board and say that, hey, I know that we aren't spending money on certain things and we have extra money sitting there. How can we give it back? Because our club also, we have different events that we were planning on doing this time of year that we would have raised a lot of money and we weren't able to do so. But being able just to sit back as Rotarians and not do anything while a pandemic's going around doesn't feel natural. So obviously our club was overly excited to give as much as we could during that time. And not only is our club giving, but also through what you're doing, Donald, as far as putting out there on Facebook and everyone sharing what we're doing and sharing that link. We have no idea how many of our friends and family members are also putting in money into these donations that are going out to these. So we're really bringing a lot of awareness along with the money to these different organizations that are in need.
Yeah, I agree with you. And we'd actually take this one step further. So not only do we send out you send out a weekly email with the donate link, we put that on our Charities Rotary Facebook page. But I also set up a time to interview either the president and CEO of the organization, very similar to this. And we try to do that on Fridays because we are a Friday lunch Rotary Club at Charities. So I try to do that on Fridays. And so that counts for our meeting for the week. And that interview is done through Zoom and streams on our Charities Rotary Facebook page. And it's really, really, I mean, I've learned in the 2 weeks that we've done it previously, and I look forward to this week and beyond, is it's great for the organizations to be able to come on and share their message, because it's really all about them. It's not about us. It's not about Chicora Rotary. It's about the organization that we're partnering with. Now, Jeremy, we aren't just doing this month. We're going to continue this maybe for the foreseeable future. Am I correct?
That is correct. Our board voted for the next 8 weeks, and every board member or every board meeting we have, we're going to be discussing this, because we have voted on each time we meet for our board, we vote on the next 4 weeks and which charities we're going to be giving to. We've already cleared it by the board for the next 8 weeks that we'll be given the money. But if the pandemic continues, then we will find the way to try to help out as much as we can beyond that time as well.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I will add kind of one tip here for those of you that are listening. $250 may not seem a lot, but we consider it a lot. We would probably have been able to do more, but our fundraiser was scheduled. Our main fundraiser for the year was scheduled for April 5th, and that event alone in years past has raised over $35,000 for our club. So we're actually taking money that we did not raise in a fundraiser, and we're giving it out to local nonprofits. I think there's a lot to be said about that. That even though we didn't have our main fundraiser for the year, we're still able to give. And so, Jeremy, we're starting to get a couple questions. But before we go, can you share, quickly, maybe the upcoming I don't know if you have that with you, the upcoming charities. I know we have United Way of Horry County, Helping Hands, but I know we've already voted on several others. Am I correct?
So we voted on those 4, the New Directions, United Way, Waccamaw Community Foundation, Helping Hands. But also in our emails, I've asked our club members that if they have a certain connection or if they're close with an organization or know of an organization that's in need, to reach out to me. And I have had multiple members talk about different other organizations they're involved in. Because our club members, although they're very active as Rotarians, a lot of them sit on boards of other organizations. And we've had some that, like the March of Dimes, that was one that was brought up. Obviously, March is their biggest event that they would need to raise money for. So we're probably going to look at that at the next board meeting, along with Zone, I forget what it's you might know better, Donald, but it's Zone Zero, the Christian-based group for
Ground Zero, yeah.
Ground Zero. Mm-hmm. So there are plenty of different organizations that were brought to my attention, and the ones that we didn't necessarily vote on in the first meeting will still be in the discussion for the next board meeting, and we'll each week be pushing forward to which next 4 weeks will be given out to. That way, as time goes, we'll know really which month certain clubs need it more than others.
Yeah, I really appreciate your willingness to come on and open up and talk about our story and the story of Giving Wednesday and where that came from. For those around which we're all in the Palmetto State here, yesterday actually happened to be Palmetto Giving Day, or they used to title that Giving Tuesday. So we have actually coined the phrase Giving Wednesday, and we're seeing a lot of success. So thank you, Jeremy. If you do have any questions for Jeremy, related to Giving Wednesday and what was just discussed, please place those in the chat box or the comment field on Facebook. Before we go to your questions, we do ask you guys, once we're done with this video, it does post automatically to the Rotary International District 7770 Facebook page. We ask that you share that on your personal pages and also share that on your club pages. If you are listening today and you're in a Rotary club and you're not the public image person for your club, please have them, they can even contact me. I would love to talk with them to get their involvement in these weekly, 3 times a week conversations with Rotary Action People segments. At least get them to share it on social media. I think would be great. So, Jeremy, we do have some questions here for you. the first one, I think, is a very important one. Are we currently a 501c3, and can you talk about that process?
Technically, our club is not a 501c3, and that's why we are not taking those donations directly to our club. When we give to these organizations, our club is given to them. Then the link that we're sharing is we're asking our members to give directly to those other clubs instead of giving to us so that we can make a donation to them.
All right. I do hear some background noise. Please just make sure your phones are on mute, please. Jeremy, the next question. How does this differ currently how we're giving from our normal end of the year giving?
We are given to a lot of organizations that we normally don't necessarily give out money to. Normally our club, the process is if someone is looking for money, we take grant applications. We have a certain amount of money that we've set aside to give out to those different grants. But for those clubs to get that, they would come to us and fill out those applications. At this point, we are looking forward and seeing which clubs or which organizations need the money the most, and we're voting on them. We're not asking them to come to ask for that money from us.
So, and you just answered the next question is, can charities apply to be included in Giving Wednesday? Well, not
Sure.
necessarily. Well, they can, but we're not going through our normal grant process.
Correct.
We are actually having our
Out to
members.
us, and we can add that to the board meeting to kind of vote on for the different organizations. And we've put that out on Facebook and everywhere else. If anyone knows of a organization in desperate need at this time, to let us know.
And the next question, how can, and I probably could answer this question for you, Jeremy, is, and how can non-Rotarian listeners join in to participate? So we do through the Chicora Rotary's Facebook page. We do a social post on Giving Wednesday, so we'll do one later today that includes our logo, the charity of the choice of the giving charity of the week, their logo, and also a dedicated donate link. And then also on Friday on the Chicora Rotary Facebook page is when I have my live interview just like this. And it's usually with the president and CEO. And there's also a donate link placed on the title of that video as well. And then I follow up with the charity from last week, like today. So I'll reach out to the Waccamaw Community Foundation, who we chose last week, to get our total of how much was given outside of our original contribution of $250.
And just to kind of add to that, what we've done, and Donald front runs all this stuff for us on the Facebook group, is we post it every week on the Facebook group, but we also ask our members to definitely share these links, because we know that not necessarily does everyone watch our Facebook group, but if you see that come up onto a member's storyline, then anyone in their family or any of their members can see that and may choose to give out money as well. And you really, if your club is doing this type of event as well, you want to share that as much as you can on social media, not only to let everyone in the community know that your club is really working hard to help out, but also there could be people out there that don't know anything about Rotary, and this may cause them to look at that and say, hey, maybe I should learn more about your club, and maybe I'd like to join them. Or maybe it's just some person that you haven't talked to in years might decide they want to give money to these organizations as well.
Yeah, I agree. Excellent. Well, at this time, I'll ask if there are any further questions for Jeremy. Oh, we do have one here coming in. The charities that you give to also put their info on the social media site as well, right? Which gives Rotary a great plug for public image. Yes. What happens is we tag those organizations through our post, and then they share the post on their pages as well. So yeah,
and we've got a lot of thank yous from those organizations too that have acknowledged what we're doing. So it's definitely spreading the word of Rotary and spreading the word of what we're doing.
Well, great, Jeremy. Thank you again for sharing the message of Giving Wednesday and why we are giving to those in need during this coronavirus pandemic. I would like to say in closing here, there's just a couple of announcements. We will do another Giving Wednesday coming up on Friday at 11 o'clock. We actually have speakers lined up all the way through the end of May, and we hope to, continue this past May. We're seeing a lot of success with this. So please, we do them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 o'clock. You should receive notification via email on who the upcoming speaker is or the title, usually the morning of the talk. Last is the district awards night. We're going to start mentioning this every week, but everyone in the district should have received several emails from not only Johnny Moore, but his conference chair for next Tuesday night from 5 to 7 is the district awards night. It'll be featured through Zoom. We'll also stream live on the Rotary International District Facebook page. So these are the awards that would have been given out at the All Club Conference that was scheduled for Columbia at the end of March. So there's a lot of great people in our district, and there's a lot of great people and clubs that will be recognized. So please share that word and tune in, whether you're on the Zoom portion of it or you're watching on the Facebook page. I'm sure that's going to be a very exciting event. To close us down today, just like we do with every Rotary meeting, we're going to recite the Rotary four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Jeremy, thank you again. Thank you for those viewers listening here on the Zoom call, and also those of you joining us watching on Facebook. Please share the video once we end here in just a few moments. That is a wrap for the conversations with Rotary Action People for Wednesday, May the 6th. Look forward to seeing everyone back on Friday, May the 8th at 11 a.m. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Donald.
Thank you. All right.